let's have a look at my comedy autographs. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to part 3 of my look at my comedy 10x8s. You can find out over a bump about exactly what these are, but it's pretty obvious from part 1. Obviously there's a part 2 because this is part 3. Let's get cracking. So this was in person. This is... why is his name just gone from my head just as I'm about to start? And it's not written on there. Jason Wilkins. Jason Wilkins? If that's wrong, I'll put it on here. This is him in Being Human, anyway. He was in Psychoville, which is the main reason I was meeting him. But he's done so many other things, and he's just a supremely talented guy. And he was really nice as well. This is Helen Atkinson Wood, who was lovely, really nice, really warm, really friendly. A lovely chat. She was in KYTV, and she played Mrs. Miggins in Blackadder and done various other things as well. But yeah, so just a lovely, lovely woman. This was Through the Mail. This is Tamsin Gregg. This is her in Green Wing. She was also in Black Books. She's in Friday Night Dinner, in Love Soup, lots and lots of things. Supremely talented woman. And really nice as well. I have subsequently met her at Stage Door as well, and she was really nice in person. She sent a little card with this as well, which you will see in another video. But yeah, just a lovely woman. This was the second time I met Craig Charles. This was after they got back together. The team got back together for Series X. Back to Earth. Back to Earth. To Martin, all the best, Smeghead. Craig Charles, again, top guy. On a related note, this is Angela Bruce, who played the female universe Lister in Series 2 Red Dwarf. She's put to Martin, "Where were you when I needed you?" Love, Angela Bruce. That's because in front of me, when I was waiting to meet her, there was a guy, and he was just going along everybody. He wasn't getting autographs, but he was going on, and he was saying, "Who are you then? What do I know you from?" And, you know, she was being very polite, but trying to get rid of him. And she kept sort of looking over to me and rolling her eyes, and hence, "Where were you when I needed you?" But yeah, lovely woman. And then this was also, that was at London Film and Comic Con, as was this. This is Jennifer Calvert. So, why have I put it in my comedy folder? Oh, she was in a Red Dwarf. That's probably why I put it in my comedy folder. She was also in Spats, which was a Spats, S-P-A-T-Z, which was a children's TV comedy on ITV about a burger joint, and various other bits as well. But she was a lovely woman. I had a big thing for her when I was little, so it was nice to meet her. This was an eBay purchase. This is the late great Victoria Wood. This was before she died, so I didn't pay too much for that, thankfully. But I'm happy it's genuine because of who it came from. And from the same people, I got Shobna Gulati. Also in Dinner Ladies, as was for Victoria Wood photo, of course. She was also in Corrie. And done lots of other bits as well. And this was also, I think, from the same vendor at the same time. Thelma Barlow. Not 100% sure what this steals from. Should know. But she was also in Dinner Ladies and of course Corrie, and she's done Doctor Who and various other bits as well. This, I think, was from the same dealer actually. This is Nicholas Ball. This is him in Red Dwarf. He was, I was going to say the wrong name then. Hazel in the thriller series of that name in the 70s, I think it was. Might be in the 80s. But he's done lots and lots of things. He was in Footballers' Wives as well. Extra Time mainly. This is Chris. Is it written on the back? Chris Ryman, yes it is written on the back, thank God for that. Who's done various bits and bobs on telly, but my reason for purchase is that he's Boulan in Count Arthur Strong, in the sitcom. So that's my reason for buying that. That was again from the same dealer, I think. This was, I have subsequently met her, but this was a purchase. This is Kim Hartman, who played Helga in Hello Hello. Again, definitely authentic. This was bought from the same dealer, and again I have subsequently met him, but this is Richard Gibson, who played Herflick in Hello Hello. Silence Peasant. If you've watched I think it was part 1, you've seen my other Hello Hello autographs of the people I met at Collectomania 10, might have been. Richard was actually there, but by the time I went to go and meet him, he'd run out of photos. They severely underestimated his popularity, so I never got to meet him then. But as I say, I met him last year, so... Is it last year? Yeah, I think it was last year. I have subsequently met him. This is, again, another purchase from the same dealer. This is Ian Lavender, best known, of course, as Pike in Dad's Army, among other things. He's in EastEnders for a long time as well. Another Hello Hello. This is Francesca Gorman, something like that. I'll put it on the screen. And she was one of the waitresses, but I can't remember which one she was. So again, I'll go on the screen. This was from the Help for Heroes stall at a London Film and Comic Con. This is Ade Edmondson. You see it was obtained at the Duke of York Theatre. Nice signed Young Ones picture of him. This was in person at London Film and Comic Con. Can't remember if it was the same one or not. This is Tim McInerney, who for years I called McInerney, but it's McInerney. Percy in Red Dwarf and Darling in Red Dwarf. Not Red Dwarf, Blackadder, sorry. He's more recently been in Game of Thrones, so many other things. He plays Frankenfurter on my favourite cast recording of a Rocky Horror Show as well, which is what I spoke to him about, but he was a really nice guy. This shouldn't actually be in here now, actually. Okay. But it is. So the comedian Richard Herring, who started off in a double act with Stuart Lee and Herring. They had their own TV series, Fists of Fun, and then This Morning with Richard Not Judy. Successful stand-up. He's a huge pioneer of podcasting. He has a chat show called Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre Podcast, where he interviews mainly comedians but other people as well. I'm a big fan of his. He does Kickstarters to fund the filming of his podcasts, which he then releases so that people can watch it for free. So the Kickstarters sort of fund them. And when he went to the Harry Potter Wizarding World, he discovered that his hand was exactly the same size as Emma Watson's one that's cast it outside. As a side note, mine's exactly the same as Rupert Grint's, I found out. So he did for a long time, he sort of did a whole thing about how he had Hermione's hand and he would offer to perform acts for people behind a curtain so they could imagine it was Emma Watson, that sort of thing. And one of the perks for the Kickstarters was the outline of his Hermione hand signed and limited edition 538 of 600. I have lots, let's put it this way. I think I'm into it's definitely more than 40, might even be more than that, Richard Herring autographs. I will do a separate video with all those on. I think I might take that out of there so that they're all together. I might not. This was a purchase from a respected dealer at, I think it was at Bournemouth Comic Con. Yes, it was. So this is Steve Coogan. A picture of him there as Alan Partridge. And this was also from the same, sorry about that, vendor. This is Richard Ayoade and Chris O'Dowd as Moss and what's Chris O'Dowd's character's name? No, it's gone. Anyway, from the IT crowd. This is another Richard Herring Hermione hand. This is a non-limited edition. This was chucked in with something else when I ordered something. Oh, it was for all his tours. He does a free program that he gives out, and in return he asks for people to donate to Scope in buckets as they leave. And he's raised, I think it's over £300,000 for Scope that way. And the way he funds the program is he gets people to sponsor them. So the last 3 or 4 programs now I've contributed, and first time that was enclosed with the signed copy of a program that he sent out to me. So that's another Richard Herring Hermione hand. Maybe I will leave them in there. This was the second time I met the lovely Hattie Hayridge. This was at Bournemouth Comic Con. Excuse that noise, it's the paper being delivered, I think. Yeah, as I mentioned, first time I met her, just a lovely, lovely woman. This was a purchase from a respected dealer, and this is, his name is completely gone, Frank. I've got Worthington in my head, but he was a footballer. Oh, I played with Vicar in Dad's Army anyway. Is it written on the back? Yeah, it is. Frank Williams. I knew it was a W. This was when I met Nick Frost. This is him, obviously a promotion shot for Hot Fuzz. Just a really, really nice guy. Although he was very busy, he took time to chat with everyone. He had a nice little chat about with Dave at the first episode of Spaced was broadcast. Also, in the photo shoot, he was having lots of fun. People were going sort of dressed as cops and what have you, or as Shaun of the Dead characters, and they had replica shotguns. And one bloke went up and he had one that was a Nerf gun or something like that, and so he took it from him, and he was shooting stuff over the walls of his photo shoot area, just having fun. Yeah, really nice guy. I also got a Doctor Who photo signed from him, which is in Doctor Who folder. I think it's in the one you haven't seen yet. This is the script to the short film Bloodshed, which I helped fund on Kickstarter or similar. So it was written by James Moran, who has also written some Doctor Who, and Kat Davies, who is his wife, I believe. And it starred Sally Phillips and... oh, what's his name? No, that's gone. I'll put it on here. And one of the perks was a signed script. So hence that. Yes, it was Kickstarter. Thank you, Kickstarter. Love Sally Phillips. Main reason for backing it is because I wanted Sally Phillips, because I had written to her. Sorry, my phone just started doing anything. Because I had written to her, but not had a reply. I'm just seeing how much I'm running out of battery space. I'm going to whiz through these. This I bought. The Chuckle Brothers were in Panto. We went to see them, and they were selling these. I think it was £3 in the foyer, so I picked one up. Sadly, Barry died not long afterwards. They were brilliant though. This was when I met the genius that is John Cleese at London Film and Comic Con, who was surprisingly nice. It's just a thrill that I've met him. Sorry, I'm whizzing through these, as I say, running out of time. Same Comic Con, I had Carol Cleveland, who was the female Python, if you like, who was divine. To Martin, best wishes, Carol Cleveland. I also got a signed book from her, which I have shown. This I pre-ordered, as I mentioned in possibly a previous video. Aid Edmondson was a guest at Collectomania last year. Because I couldn't attend, I ordered one, and that came signed. This was when I met Kim Hartman, who played Helga in Hello Hello. This was at London Film and Comic Con last year. She was lovely, as was Richard Gibson, who played Herr Flick. Silence, Martin. I knew his grandmother, so we had a little chat about that. This is Miranda Richardson, Queenie in Blackadder 2, so many other things as well. She was... I'm not certain she really wanted to be there, but she was pleasant enough. Same could be applied for Tony Robinson, actually, to Martin Best Wishes. I expected him to be a bit friendlier. He wasn't rude or anything, but I just expected a bit more from him. But happy to have met him. And finally, this is Christopher Ryan. This I got in... You may have seen my video where I bought a job lot of 100 autographs. This was one of the ones in there. So as previously mentioned on, might have been a different part, he was Mike in The Young Ones. He was Dave Hedgehog in Bottom, which I didn't mention before, and he's done some Doctor Who and various other bits. And that's it. Okay, so that's my comedy 10x8. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I shall see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.